Und damit herzlich willkommen zurück zu einer neuen Folge von Vampyr. Oh, guck mal, unten steht auch irgendeiner rum, irgendein so Beißerchen. Da können wir nicht anvisieren von hier oben. Egal, soll uns mal nicht interessieren. Wie gesagt, DP geben die eh nicht wirklich. Lol. Frech. Oh, die scheiß Wolken, die sind echt nervig. Boah. Guckt's euch an, Leute. Ich will dein Blut, Junge. Ich brauch Heal. Oh, geil. Ah, ich weiß noch nicht. Also ohne den Heal spielen fühlt sich schon irgendwie... Also wir sind halt nicht permanent Full Life, ne? Das ist klar. Also ich glaube, wir kommen schon durch, aber es ist auf jeden Fall ein bisschen schwieriger. Wir können halt eine fette Attacke noch irgendwie mit reinnehmen. Ist halt die Frage. Ich bin mal gespannt auf den ersten Bossfight. Aber es ist halt in brenzligen Situationen, das ist halt geil, den hier zu haben. Wir haben jetzt keine Spritzen mehr dabei. Hätte ich mitbekommen, dass du aus der Firma raus bist. Was? Ist doch jetzt schon ewig lang Thema. Also... dass sie mich ein bisschen um Lohn beschissen haben und so. Und raus. Also ich bin erst zum 11.06. offiziell raus. So, wie es scheint, dürfen wir jetzt erstmal ein bisschen quatschen, Leute. Erstmal hier ein bisschen mit den Seelen von den Docks. Ich wollte die ganze Zeit Hafen sagen, aber natürlich heißt das Gebiet hier, das sind die Docks. Wer bist denn du, mein lieber Freund?
Good evening, sir. Who the fuck are you? Don't you see I'm busy here? Dr. Jonathan.
Alter, was sind das für einer?
And who are you? Ah, some fancy gentleman we've got here. Clear off. We don't want strangers on our streets. So you won't tell me your name then? The name is Booth Digby. Maybe I'll ask my boys to break one or two of your bones, just so you remember it.
Aha. Sehen wir was zu deinem Leben in London, Junge.
Are you some kind of vigilante patrolling these streets at night? Something like that, but the police aren't in charge here. We are, see?
Mhm.
So you're a concerned criminal, is that it? Using funny jokes about me and my boys, are you? Fuck. You must have some balls.
Alter, wenn du wüsstest, Junge.
Like you during the war, Mr. Digby.
Diesen Kochonis.
Greedy little cockroaches who feed on despair. I could kill you for saying that. But nah. You've been a soldier. I can respect that.
Naja, bin ja in letzter Zeit selten da, auf jeden Fall, Biber. Auf jeden Fall. Ich dachte nur, das hättest du irgendwann mitbekommen, oder was wir da, wo wir schon drüber gesprochen haben.
What? Have you got a death wish? You really want me to answer that? Well, yes. You seem so proud of your status. Why not tell me who you're working for? Oi! I'm the boss, all right? The Wet Boot Boys work for me. All of them.
Du bist der Chef der Wet Boot Boys. Alter, wir werden dich so geisteskrank aussaugen. Ich glaube, der hat noch keine Ahnung, wie heftig wir ihn aussaugen werden, den Jungen. Und letzte Woche habe ich ja selber auch 5 Tage am Stück nicht gestreamt, weil wegen krank und so. Erzähl mir doch mal was hier über dein geiles Ghetto, Bitch. Wird ein bisschen höflicher formuliert von mir aus.
We give people what they need, and we control this borough. Well, you're not doing a very good job. People are still dying here like everywhere else. Yeah, well, we can't be everywhere all the time. And Edwina says if we can find more guns, we could be more efficient. More efficient? Really?
You should probably tell Edwina that guns are useless against diseases and infections.
Incredible. You know what? You're lucky she can't hear you right now. She's more smart than patient. My sweet queen of the docks.
Seine Queen of the Docks, Alter. Persönliche Fragen können wir noch nicht stellen, aber wir können zu der Quest, können wir nicht, ich suche nach Sean Hampton, Alter. Hast du ihn gesehen, Bruder?
Do you know where I can find Sean Hampton? I need to talk to him.
The sad saint. Why on earth do you want to talk to him?
He was one of my patients at the Pembroke Hospital.
Oh, yeah. I heard the poor bastard had been abducted by some cunt. You better ask Tom Watts. He knows Sean Hampton well.
Hatte den hat jemand entführt?
Goodbye, Mr. Digby.
Mr. Digby, Alter. Mal gucken, Junge. Ja, wer bist denn du, Oma? Erzähl mal.
Good evening, miss. I am Dr. Reed. May I ask you a few questions?
Who are you? What do you want?
As I just told you,
Ein
I'm
paar
a
Fragen
doctor
stellen, Alter.
from the Pembroke Hospital, actually.
The Pembroke Hospital, you say? I don't have any money for you leeches.
I'm not here for charity, Miss...
Miss Edwina Cox. So what do you want then? Fancy buying something from me, maybe?
War da mal Cox? Haben wir nicht irgendeinen Cox umgebracht, Alter? Oh, mit der können wir handeln. Was hat denn die?
As long as you...
Ah, aber die hat auch nur so grünes Zeug. Ah, das bringt uns nichts.
Good evening.
Hello again.
Erstmal ein bisschen was zu deinem Leben in London, meine Liebe. Ich bin doch sehr interessiert.
What can you tell me about your work?
I'm a businesswoman. I buy and sell things, and I send my wet boot boys after anyone who don't play nice with me.
Gang member and shopkeeper. Can't be easy running double shifts.
If you're interested, I may find use of a doctor who can freely walk across the city, you know.
You're quite blunt, aren't you?
I like people who know what they want and say what they think. This is a time of great opportunity for those ready to embrace their destiny.
Ich habe aber kein Interesse, Bitch.
I'm not interested in a career in the criminal underworld, Miss Cox.
Fair enough. Stay away from us then, if you don't want to get hurt or worse.
Since my
Alter.
return from the war, I don't feel that concerned by threats, knives, or even bullets, if you must know.
That's exactly what that stupid trade unionist claimed after he attacked one of us. Booth and I reminded him a bullet beats words every time.
Tja, ihr Liebe, du weißt aber nicht, was ich bin. Erzähl mal was über den Stall der Stadt, Alter.
What can you tell me about this part of town?
You can't trust anyone around here. As soon as you lower your guard, you can be sure some arsehole will take advantage of you.
Ich wollte gerade sagen, es ist halt ein bisschen übertrieben, Alter.
Really? Don't you think that's a little bit excessive?
Bastards, all of them. This region only responds to violence and threats.
Denkst du an jemand Bestimmtes?
You sound like you're thinking of somebody in particular.
Take the gravediggers of Southwark. They must pay me every week, but it looks like they forgot who gave them permission to steal from the dead.
Looting corpses in a mass grave. That is a new low.
Whatever. Hey, since you're a doctor and all, maybe you can access that forbidden area and remind those bastards what they owe.
Soll ich für die eine Erledigung machen, Mann? Bin ich aber eigentlich gar nicht scharf drauf.
You still use your husband's name, Edwina. Why is that?
Why shouldn't I? He may be a bloody bastard, but I'm still his wife and his name means something round here.
Are you aware of what happened to him?
Yes. I'm sure he fought till the end and looked death in the eyes. The boys will mourn him. Except one of them, maybe.
Eine Ausnahme vielleicht. Ich frage mich immer noch, ob der eine dieser Gangster, dem wir auch sein Messer wiedergebracht haben und so, ob der möglicherweise, na, der hieß auch Cox oder nicht? Wir können gleich nochmal gucken.
Digby looks at you with love-struck eyes. Tell me, Edwina, is the feeling mutual?
You have no idea how refreshing it can be for a woman to receive all the pleasure she needs. For once.
I'll take your word for it.
What is it, Doctor? A woman's not supposed to talk about these things.
Also ich glaube nicht, dass sie ihn manipuliert. Wir bergen ein weiches Herz. Ich glaube nicht, dass sie wollen würde, dass das jemand sieht. Wir machen mal das hier, Alter. Ich bin nicht leicht zu schockieren.
I'm not that easily shocked, Miss Cox. You can speak freely about your lover if you so wish.
The poor bastard is good to me, if you must know. He makes me feel good. And that's a first.
So you're just like any other couple, after all, are you not?
Yeah, we're so ordinary that I'd put a bullet in his head if he ever cheated on me.
Alright, Alter.
Tell me about the man you and Booth killed, Edwina.
The bastard killed one of us and received retribution. There's nothing else to say.
What happened exactly?
I don't know and I don't care. One of ours was killed by that
wieder
communist
Kommunisten, ja.
bastard, but he didn't brag for long.
So you have no idea what really happened, but you executed him anyway.
No one messes with the wet boot boys, Doctor. This is
Nobody
our
wedded with
territory
wet
and
boot
this is
boys.
our law.
Plagt sie ihr Gewissen nicht, meine Liebe, hm?
And your conscience is clear.
Soll ich ihnen ihre Beichte
You
abnehmen?
kill without hesitation.
Violence is an efficient tool, Dr. Reed, when used properly.
So you decide who lives and who dies, just like that.
Yes, Doctor. Just like that. I'm not saying it's fair. I'm saying it's my way of dealing with troublemakers.
Muss ich mich ja fragen, ob wir ein Troublemaker sind, Alter. Und ich suche Sean Hampton.
I'm looking for Mr. Sean Hampton. Do you know where I could find him?
The sad saint? I heard he was mugged or something.
Yes, he was. But he left hospital recently.
You don't say. Well, I suppose it's good news for the homeless and the useless. Ask them, they must know something.
Eine Sache ist bei ihr noch unaufgedeckt. Also lass mal gucken, weil ich glaube, wir hatten doch... Ja, genau, hier, Clay Cox. Edwina. Heißt die hier Edwina? Ja. Das ist seine Frau, aber die stehen komischerweise nicht mehr in einer Verbindung. Also stehen in keiner Verbindung mehr zusammen. Ey, Junge, Alter. Einer möchte gern Gangster.
Fool. Hardens me to know you can't see me, my sweet queen. Perhaps we should have listened to what the idiot had to say first.
Schießt dir nicht mehr wirklich Kugeln. Platzpatronen hat er gekriegt, der Lappen.
You again. What do you want?
Ich hab hier ein bisschen was über dich herausgefunden, du Kacklappen, Alter.
Tell me about the man you killed, Booth. What happened?
One of us had been killed, so we had to retaliate. That's the whole
So
story.
einfach.
There has to be more to it than that.
No, really. One of us got killed, so the killer had to die. That's how things have always been done round here. No one gives a shit.
Also jemand wird sie töten, ist auf jeden Fall real, weil ich glaube, irgendwann werden wir ihn krank aussaugen. Sind sie so herzlos? Einfach sagen, liegt falsch. Nee, jemand wird dich töten, Junge.
Don't you see it's an endless spiral? One day it will be you who will be stabbed, or shot, or worse.
That's what my sweet Edwina always says, that one day I'll get it too. But she says it with the most beautiful smile, my Edwina.
Do you know Edwina suspects you to be unfaithful?
Edwina's the one who asked to be called Mrs. Cox, even though Clay hadn't touched her for such a long time.
You have not answered my question.
She's a passionate woman. I've no doubt she'll shoot me down if I ever betray her, but that's not going to happen. I love her as she is.
Goodbye, Mr. Digby.
Tschüss mit der Dick B. Mr. Dick B, Alter. Die heißt Cox, Alter. Er heißt Dick B, Alter. Das ist ja wirklich Sodom und Gomorra hier, Mann. Aha. Drüben ist Blut. Warum ist da Blut? Oh nö.
Mark my words. These murders are the work of a vampire.
A vampire?
Whatever do you mean?
I'm a tracker of these creatures. A vampire hunter.
You best be off to your hunting then. For if the sewer dog is back and hunting all these poor folk, he needs a catching.
A sewer dog? What's it look like?
It's an old story. A monster with daggers for teeth and icy claws. He comes of a sudden, nighttime, claiming innocence, then vanishes.
Teeth? Claws? Murders by night? Your sewer dog is my business. He's the kind of prey I hunt, milady.
Der Junge ist entweder arschbesoffen oder ein richtiger Schauspieler, Alter, bin ich ehrlich.
Not a drop of blood left in his body. This is the work of a vampire.
Scheiße.
Good evening, sir. Have you witnessed any suspicious activity
Kommen zu der
or
Komponente, mein
strange
Schatz.
events recently?
And
Grüße
what do you
dich.
define as a strange
Schön,
event?
dass du da bist.
More to the point, who are you?
My name is Ichabod Throgmorton.
Aha.
Vampire hunter extraordinaire and
Ach,
warden
extraordinär
of
noch,
the
okay,
East
gut.
A vampire hunter? Really?
Ja.
I know what you're thinking. I'm just another lunatic howling at the moon, but I'm not. The bloodsuckers exist, and they're close.
Mr. Throgmorton, I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'd like to hear more about these vampires you're hunting.
A man of science? Well, I'll be glad to enlighten you.
Erleuchte mich mal, Junge. Aber erstmal will ich was über dein Leben in London erfahren, mein Freund.
What can you tell me about this neighborhood?
Did you hear about what happened to Jack Gillingham? Oh boy. It's a shame I wasn't around to protect him.
Ah, ja,
It's
natürlich.
impossible
Schwierig.
to protect everyone. The violence seems endemic in this part of town.
But it's my duty. I am convinced Jack Gillingham was killed by a vampire. These evil rodents are spreading like a plague.
Fühlen wir uns schon beleidigt durch den Bruder, Alter? I'm not sure. Wir werden dich auf jeden Fall krank aussagen. Glaubt, dass Jack Gillingham von Vampiren getötet wurde.
So, how exactly are you protecting these people? I'm curious.
I patrol late at night, investigating anything unusual. I try and encourage people to stay indoors, but people are careless.
Brauchst du Hilfe, Bruder?
Can I help in any way?
Actually, yes. I plan to put up posters to alert the
Plakate
population
aufhängen,
to the
Alter.
vampire threat.
Are you asking me to paste posters about vampires around the docks?
If you wouldn't mind. If you did that, then I can focus on my patrols.
Sollte ich nicht lieber Patrols machen und du hängst die scheiß Dinger auf, Alter?
How do you identify a
Ich wollte gerade
vampire?
sagen, dass ich mir unser
It's
Gesicht
simple,
angucken.
They
Schaut
can't
euch das mal an,
stand
Alter.
daylight. They're afraid of garlic and holy symbols. They also cannot enter a house without being invited.
Have you ever killed one of these creatures? Yourself, I mean.
Of course I have. What kind of question is that? It's a dirty business, believe me.
Hey Junge, Alter, das ist ein richtig erbärmlicher Hochstapler. Oh, werden wir dich irgendwann aussaugen, Junge, du hast ja noch keine Ahnung, ey.
Have you heard of the Guard of Priwen?
Of course. They're dedicated hunters. A little militant for my taste, but they do let anyone join.
Jagst du allein?
So you hunt alone? That sounds risky.
Vampires are just like every other predator. They hunt when they're hungry and follow certain patterns. It's just a matter of observation and patience.
Were you ever tempted to join the Guard yourself?
I did think about it, but I'm more of a silent hunter.
Ja,
They're more of a sanitary militia.
die Gesundheitsmiliz, Alter, da sehe ich sie auch, die Wache. Ah, ich suche Sean Hampton, Alter, was ist denn jetzt da los?
I'm looking for Sean Hampton. Can you help me, Mr. Throgmorton?
The sad saint? He should be at his night asylum at this hour, but I cannot tell you how to find it, sorry.
Really? Why is that?
It's nothing personal, Doctor. I'm sure your intentions are good, but people who sleep there,
They have plenty of reasons to hide.
I could make you tell me, but I respect your refusal. You really believe Sean is a saint, don't you?
All I will say is this. Gossip has it that when he was a child, he was molested. By a priest of all people.
Oh nein.
Funny thing is, though, it only strengthened his faith.
Ach so, ja klar. Also, ne?
Maybe at least you can tell me who could help me find him.
Tell you what, go and chat with Tom Watts. He's a bartender and good judge of character. If he talks to you, then it's fine by me.
Ja, ich kenne doch den schon, Alter.
Goodbye. And good hunting, Throckmorton.
Ja, Sichelkombinator, wenn ich viel Spaß beim Lurken und beim nebenbei Fahrschule pauken. So, was denn mit dir? Ach, das ist... Oh, Junge, Alter. Mal ein Bürstchen einstecken, ich würde gerne mit dir reden.
Whatever.
Don't you recognize me? We met a few nights ago.
Don't take it personally. I spent a lot of energy forgetting what I did the night before.
Yes, you were definitely drunk too much then as well. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed.
I'm Dyson Delaney. I'll try to remember you. This time.
Ich würde dich erstmal gern ein bisschen heilen, wenn du Bock hast. Und aussaugen könnten wir ihn auch. Der hat auch keine Beziehungen, das ist eigentlich ziemlich gut.
Inebriation aside, do you need medical help?
Yes. I feel sicker than usual these days.
Ja, bitteschön,
Take
Gönje.
this then. And perhaps you could try to slow down the alcohol intake too.
Hey, Doc, you don't really want me to stop the only remedy I can afford.
Verstehe.
What do you do for a living, Mr. Delaney?
I drink. I drink in the morning and at noon. I drink at night. And then I drink some more.
Okay.
Why do you drink so much?
Maybe it's because I prefer dying slowly. Death can be so abrupt. Personally, I like to see mine coming at my own pace.
You sound very sad, sir.
That's because I am Doc.
Don't you work at all?
I'd love to, but I don't have the time. Didn't I tell you? Drink in the morning and at noon. I drink at night.
Alter, ich könnte mir kein Leben vorstellen, Alter, wenn ich halt wirklich jeden Tag nichts anderes mache, als mich zu besaufen, Leute. Könntet ihr das? What do you do for a living? Den Satz kenne ich nur von TikTok. Also ich bin nicht ganz sicher, ob ich dich richtig verstehe, aber in meinem Kopf hat sich da was sehr Witziges zusammengebraut. Also ja, fühle ich. Alter, aber jetzt mal Real Talk, Alter. Wirklich den ganzen Tag nur saufen. Vor allem, was ich nicht verstehe, ist, wie kann das sein, dass der, also wie finanziert er sich sein Ike, wenn der nicht arbeiten geht?
Is there anything in particular that you like about this part of town? Except for the cheap drinks, I mean.
How dare you say such a thing? I love this neighborhood. So friendly. So joyful.
Ja, richtig joyful, ey.
No reason at all to rejoice then. Life is hopeless and then we die, is that it?
Let me tell you a story.
Ja, dann erzähl halt mal, Mann.
All right. Go on.
A few years ago, when I believed a resolute man could change things around here for good, a tragedy occurred nearby.
What kind of tragedy?
It was a bomb. Bomb that exploded and killed many people. Metal and blood everywhere. Shouts. Fire. Broken window of the shoe shop. The torn street light.
You lost people you loved that day, didn't you?
I've lost everything. But you know what the worst part is? I don't even remember where it happened. I've drunk so much to forget it. And now I can't remember where it was. I can't pay my homage to the dead.
I'm sorry, Mr. Delaney.
It's okay. If you ever find the place, just leave a flower for me there. Even if you tell me where it is. I'm not sure I'd memorize it.
Ich habe so das Gefühl, dass wir ihn, dass wir die Blume da zu dem Grab legen sollen, was wir vorhin auf dem Friedhof gefunden haben, Alter. Könnte sein.
Is there anything in particular that you like about this part of town?
Können wir noch
Why
das hier
are you
fragen?
so cynical?
Cynicism is the polite way to express despair, Doctor.
No.
Let me...
Ja, das kennen wir aber alles schon. Persönliche Frage. Hatten Sie als junger Mann Träume? Hat er bestimmt.
Surely you must have had dreams and expectations when you were young, like everybody else.
Sure, I wanted things to change. To really change, and to change for good. The bigger the dream, the harder the fall.
Sounds like you were an idealist, which is honorable.
No, sir. I was an anarchist and I believed that exclusive property is a robbery in nature. I wanted a new world to rise from the ashes, Dr. Reed.
Kann ich stellenweise nachempfinden.
Do you really think the world is that bad?
No, I believe we all can choose to make it better. But most of us are too weak, too corrupt and too guilty. I failed for sure, but others will come.
I want to know more about your past as an anarchist, Dyson.
I'm still an anarchist, Doctor. Make no mistake. I just reject violence as a tool to change the world, unlike my comrades.
Wen meint er mit Kameraden? Vielleicht die komischen Wachen von Priven?
Do you still see your comrades, then? Even if you don't agree with their methods anymore, I mean.
No. I hope they'll come to share my point of view one day. I'll raise my glass to that splendid idea.
Glauben Sie an eine friedliche Revolution?
Do you believe in a bloodless revolution, then?
I do not believe in much anymore, Doctor. But I'll admit I like your idea of peaceful change. I like it a lot.
Ich verstehe. Das ist noch okay. Gehalt haben wir ihn schon. Das haben wir alles gefragt. Hier gibt es auch nichts Neues. Dann suchen wir mal noch nach Sean Hampton.
I'm looking for Mr. Sean Hampton. Do you know where I could find him?
I really don't know. I heard he'd been abducted. I don't know if he's back.
Who could tell me, then?
About a sad saint.
Ja, ich sage alle zum Tom Watts, ey. Na gut, mein Freund.
Goodbye,
Ich danke dir.
Mr. Delaney.
Mal ganz kurz pausieren, einen Moment. So, Leute, da sind wir wieder. Okay. Ich muss mich kurz mal ein bisschen räuspern, das wollte ich euch gerne ersparen. Aber wer liegt denn jetzt hier eigentlich? Wissen wir nicht, ja. Da ist der Tom Watts und die Sabrina. Ich glaube, hier waren wir auch noch nicht drin, ne? Aber das ist zweifellos das Büro vom Doc. Gibt es aber ansonsten nichts weiter. Ne, das hier ist das Zimmer vom Doc. So, Cherie. Erzähl mal.
Evening, miss.
Well, I never. That's a first. Customers who make that much mess rarely come back. Never mind in fancy togs.
I'm much more myself than when we first met. By the way, I'm Jonathan, Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Welcome back to the Turquoise Turtle then, Doctor. I'm Sabrina Cavendish. How can I help you?
Das ist die Frage, Alan. Zuerst muss... Naja, die wird uns auch nur sagen, dass wir mit dem Barkeeper quatschen sollen.
What can you tell me about this area?
People don't appreciate that line of questioning round here. You best be more careful with what you say, sir.
You look concerned, Miss Cavendish.
This is a bad borough. Most people I know are afraid. Most locals will rob you blind, or worse. You best mind your step.
So you and your friends all feel in danger? No exceptions?
Tom's the only exception I've come across until now. But he's not like everybody else.
Ich könnte mir gut vorstellen, dass er auch ein Vampir ist, der Barkeeper hier.
This place seems, how shall I put it, very colorful. I'm sure it has plenty of stories to tell.
We get people of all sorts here. It's that rare place in the docks where you can have a drink without being murdered. At least it's not happened yet.
So this bar is neutral territory then?
Yeah. Tom's convinced this is something the locals need. No one ever draws a weapon here. That's one of the reasons I accepted the job.
Verstehe, finde ich aber gut.
Your boss must be quite the negotiator to force such an agreement.
Yeah. Tom's a great bloke. Mr. Hampton, who runs the night asylum, he's the only other man that's able to keep peace around here.
Hampton, war das nicht der Doc, der uns ins Krankenhaus geholt hat? Aber wo kommst du denn eigentlich her, meine Schöne?
Excuse my curiosity, but where exactly are you from, Miss Cavendish?
Something bothering you? What, my name? Or my complexion?
Ja, das ist es. Genau das.
Believe me, I never judge someone on their place of birth or the color of their skin.
If that's true, you'd be one of the few not to make fun of me. Just you, Tom,
Ja, das wissen wir
Miss
schon.
Fishburne, and of course Mr. Hampton.
Ich erinnere mich. Wir haben einen Zettel gefunden, wo sie geschrieben hat, dass sie voll verarscht wird und so wegen ihrer Herkunft.
I'm sorry if I worried you. I was just curious to find out if you know this part of town well.
Nosy. My dad was a sailor from Bombay, and my mum was a maid born up in Glasgow. They got married in London. And here I am.
Aber wurde sie hier gezeugt, dann kommt sie doch aus London, oder was?
Sabrina, tell me about your true feelings for your boss.
I love Tom. Not ashamed of it. Don't care if the customers joke about it neither.
Wer lacht über dich, meine Schöne?
Who's mocking you?
I mean, we're always together. People will talk, won't they?
Und liebt Tom dich auch?
Does Tom love you?
Yeah, but he's always reluctant to take it further. It's not because I'm younger, or because of the colour of my skin. He hates jokes about us.
Aber traurig, Mann. Scheiß doch drauf, was die anderen sagen.
Miss Cavendish, would you be willing to help me locate Sean Hampton?
You better ask Tom, sir.
Why not answer me directly?
We respect the privacy of our customers here, sir. Only Tom can decide who to speak to and what he'll say to them.
Lol.
Goodbye, Miss Cavendish.
Denkt zwar, als hat er hier sein eigenes Regime führen, als er am Laufen. So, Tom, mein Freund. Der ist am Erholen, sehr gut. Tom, mein Freund.
Good evening, Tom.
Good evening, sir. How are you tonight?
Oh Mann, mein Hals.
Back to the
Ich
docks,
werd
are
nicht
we?
krank.
You remember me then?
Of course I do. You're that man who seemed so lost when he entered my bar a few nights ago.
Thank you for your hospitality. I'm Jonathan Reed, by the way.
I'm still Tom Watts. Welcome back, Doctor.
Ich glaube, das kennen wir schon, aber wir
What
gucken
can you
mal.
tell me about this part of town?
It's not that bad. Thanks to people like the sad saint of the East End.
Who?
Sean Hampton, our own private holy figure. Few are foolish enough to make peace with the gangs. Sean is one of them.
How is it you can keep this place open? This part of town doesn't seem particularly safe.
Well, since everybody needs a drink, my pub is considered neutral ground by most groups.
Weiß nicht, welche Frage wir zuerst kommen. Scheiße, wir fangen einfach oben links an.
I see. So you get pressure from all sides about how this place should be run, do you?
Or something like that. Nothing that a few wise words and a bottle of gin can't solve.
Kann ich was für dich tun, mein Freund?
Since I'm here, is there anything I can do?
Well, perhaps, Doctor. Peace partly depends on my stock of gin. With the epidemic, my supplies are running low.
How could a physician help you in this matter?
I have a small warehouse just past the quarantine line. Perhaps, with you being a doctor, you could go there and come back?
Doctors aren't immune to disease, you know. Very well. Show me where it is. I'll see what I can do.
Oh, thank you, sir. Here's the key to get in. You're about to save many dry throats.
Schlüssel zum Lagerhaus, nice.
You're something of a figurehead around here.
I'm only pouring alcohol for everyone to forget their troubles. Sean Hampton is the one giving them long-term hope.
Oh nein. Ach stimmt, Sean Hampton ist hier dieser komische Heilige, den wir eigentlich suchen. Nicht der Doktor.
Why does your waitress feel in danger working on the docks?
This part of town is dangerous for all, but for women it's worse, as always. Sabrina is a brave girl, but she can't help feeling in danger.
Do you think she has good reason to feel this way? Are you not worried about her safety?
Of course I am. The truth is, she's tougher than me deep inside. She just has to learn to control it.
Sollte ich dir vielleicht beibringen, mein Freund. Ein bisschen.
Sabrina seems very fond of you, Tom.
I like her too. I really do. I know I'm her boss, and I'm much older and all. But I like her for sure.
What is bothering you then?
Sabrina is an angry one. She wears it like a coat. I'm not sure I can make her shed that anger. It hurts to see her like that.
Na gut, dann kommen wir mal zum Hauptthema. Sean Hampton, mein Freund.
Tom, I need to find Sean Hampton as quickly as possible. I've been told you could help me.
I heard the sad saint was recovering at Pembroke Hospital. Did he leave or something?
I believe he returned to his flock. Can you confirm that?
Oh, I bet you're right. Sean can't help but worry about the poor and sick. Oh, I guess it has something to do with what happened to him as a baby.
Please, tell me.
Well, I don't like to gossip, but I heard that the sad saint was abandoned as a baby in front of a Catholic orphanage in Dublin.
Da wurde vergewaltigt,
Would
das Kind.
explain his faith and need to help everyone.
Ich glaube, der wurde vergewaltigt, oder? Ja. Und den nur belästigt sogar. Scheiße, das ist die Stütze hier vom Hafen. Oh nein. Hoffen wir mal, dass der nicht wirklich sich verwandelt hat, ey.
The important thing is I find him. Quickly.
Why not try his night asylum? He takes care of those who need a meal or a roof there.
Where is it?
It's in an old warehouse, northwest of here. Just follow the bank to the west and go north when you reach the end of the pier.
Nice. Und Snot hat nichts mehr zu sagen.
Mr. Watts.
Danke dir mal lieber, so ein Drink würde ich eigentlich noch mitnehmen, aber... Der redet ständig mit sich selbst, das haben wir saufen. Wir können, glaube ich, noch mal mit ihr quatschen.
You still work?
Okay, wir können nicht noch mal mit ihr quatschen, alright. Na klar, dann gehen wir mal Sean Hampton an den East End Dock suchen.
Are they stupid or something?
Ihr erinnert euch, da hinten waren wir auch. Überlege, ob wir da noch mal hinchecken. Auf der anderen Seite. Gucken wir, ob wir da hinten irgendwo rüberkommen. Ich glaube, hier sind wir auch noch nicht großartig rumgelaufen. Wer bist denn du nochmal?
Good evening, sir. I'm amazed you made it back to the docks alone. Good for you.
Well, I could
isn't
say
this
the same
nochmal?
about you, young man. More to the point, who the hell are you?
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed.
And I am Archer Woodbead. Please excuse my assertiveness. I often forget I'm just an old prune.
Kein Problem, Bruder. Erzähl mir was ein bisschen. Und wer ist denn das? Ah, ich erinnere mich. Ja. Erzähl mir was über den Teil der Stadt.
About this part of town?
People used to feel safe around here. They had the gangs protecting them. Now all they do is bicker and plot against one another.
Missing the good old days, are you not?
Trust me, son. The longer you live, the less meaning your existence will have. You need to remember the days you still had beliefs.
Was ist mit den Gangs?
And what about the gangs?
Back in my day, people trusted the wet boot boys. We looked out for the docks and its families. Nowadays, they're just a bunch of greedy fuckers.
You were a gang.
Greedy
I was their
fuckers.
leader for a time, believe it or not. Now these bastards act like I'm nothing. Not one of them. They owe me some damn respect.
Na, verstehe ich, Alter. Wenn du ewig lang das hohe Tier warst und dann... Naja.
If you were such a respected figure, surely you have many interesting stories about this part of town.
You bet I do, but make no mistake. I'm no rat, sir. Some secrets are best left buried.
Do you still know anyone? From the old days, I mean.
Most of them are dead. I still give Miss Gillingham salutations. She doesn't remember me. She did once like me. Boy, she was a beauty back then.
Casanova, Alter.
Who would you trust around here?
The owner of the Turquoise Turtle's a decent fella. Tom's his name. Sean Hampton's all right too. Don't particularly share his religious views. He's quite devout if you catch my meaning.
Versteh dich, Bruder. Auffällige neue Gesichter. Naja, der wird sagen, wir wahrscheinlich.
Any remarkable new faces around here?
Nobody. Well, there's that boy Rufus the Curse. I like
Rufus
him,
the Curse.
despite the reputation he's made since his parents died. Poor little bastard.
Scheiße, Alter, wirst du als Fluch bezeichnet, weil deine Eltern sterben und so. Hast du auch gar keinen Bock drauf.
I'm sure a district as colorful as the docks must have plenty of stories about strange visitors and creepy characters.
So, you want me to talk about the sewer dog, don't you?
If you don't mind.
The sewer dog is a bitch. Appropriately named. An old woman dressed in rags. She has an elegance, though. Despite her ugliness. I saw her once. Scared the life out of me.
Was, der will uns sagen, dass die Knallratte irgendeine alte Frau ist.
Have you always been so bitter?
It's not bitterness, it's poorly masked disgust. When everything turns to shit, we all have to eat a spoon or two.
Oh Gott. Ja, es sind schwierige Zeiten, Alter, ist so.
With everything that's happened recently, the war, Spanish flu, I must concede that these are difficult times.
A few nights ago, I saw a kid eating a rat. He was right in front of one of those abandoned houses nearby. Just chewing on a living rat's insides.
Ach du Scheiße, Alter. Das klingt echt widerlich.
Tell me everything you know about the Guard of Priwen.
Andrew never told me what they do. I do know they're vigilantes with military training. Access to some impressive firepower.
And what is your
Oh, yeah.
personal opinion about the Guard, then?
This Guard of Priwen is just another gang preying on the young and naive. Preying on people like my boy. I know how it works. I invented it.
Alter, schade, wir können die leider noch nicht aussaugen, aber ich hätte Bock.
Why did your son really
Brauchen wir
join the
P.
Guard of Priwen?
If I believed in a higher power, I'd see this as punishment for my own sins. I deserve it for all the young men I enlisted back in the day.
Nix, null, Alter. Was geht, Mann? Einen wunderschönen guten Abend. Hat er Ihnen keine Erklärung hinterlassen? Ja, warum ist denn der da jetzt beigetreten, Alter? Erzähl
You
mal.
don't believe in God, though, do you, Mr. Woodbead?
Woodbead, Alter.
So why did he join?
Now I think about it, Andrew joined the Guard
Der
not to defy
Holzschlag,
me, but
Woodbead?
to follow in my footsteps, to make me proud.
Aber würde der dann nicht eher ein Gangsterboss werden? Weil er wäre auch ein Gangsterboss. Warum sollte der Wache beitreten, um wie er zu sein? Oder habe ich jetzt wieder irgendwas verpasst?
So your son has left you nothing to explain his actions? No letter or message?
Not even a note. I'm a proud man, Dr. Reed. But I would kneel and pray if I thought it would give me my Andrew back.
Mal sehen, was wir im Laufe des Games vielleicht für dich machen können.
Tell me about the Wet Boot Boys, Archer. I want to know more.
We were there for the families and each other. It was us against the world. We were vicious, tough, even cruel. But we were united.
You sound like you were some kind of radical union member.
Yes, nowadays the communists and gangs squabble over pointless territory. Sounds stupid when you say it out loud.
Irgendwie schon, ja, mein Freund, irgendwie schon. Der hat halt auch keine, der hat keine Angehörigen. Denn wenn wir aussaugen würden, das würde keinen stören. Die Stadt wäre stabil, also könnte man machen. Alter, das ist fucking stabiler als das Krankenhaus, ey. Okay, haben wir aber auch schon 2 Leute gemordet. Wir könnten ihn noch heilen, das sollten wir auch machen, bevor wir das nächste Mal pennen. Dann steigen wir hier vielleicht sogar hoch in gesund, ey. Und hier bedenklich. Scheiße.
I'm looking for a man named Sean Hampton. Can you help me?
The sad saint. Even when he was young, his faith and dedication were inspiring. A beacon even, if I may say so.
Interesting. But have you spoken to him recently?
I spoke with him about my missing son a few days ago. I've not seen him since he was attacked by some drunkard and left the vicinity.
Naja, bedanke ich mich fürs Gespräch. Was das für ein Game interessiert mich. Wir zocken Vampyr. Und wie der Name fast schon sagt, wir sind Vampir. Wir wurden verwandelt. Und ich weiß nicht, wir sind sowohl Arzt als auch Vampir, als auch ein bisschen Detektiv. Wir helfen ein bisschen in der Stadt, saugen Leute aus, auf die wir Bock haben. Das Kampfsystem ist sehr geil gemacht. Die Map wunderschön, das Erkunden macht sehr viel Spaß. Und ich hoffe mal, ich konnte deine Frage dadurch beantworten. Drin ist irgendeine Oma. Ich glaube, wir quatschen mit dem Alten hier auch noch, oder? Aber es ist halt dann schon wieder so eine, fast so eine reine Quatschfolge, ne? Aber früher oder später müssen wir ja hier eh mit allen reden, also. Weiß nicht, komm, wir reden mal mit dem. Erzähl mal.
Hello, boy.
Aufmachung ist sehr, sehr geil.
Hello. Good evening.
Did I scare you? You have nothing to fear from me.
No, it's just that people prefer to avoid me.
Well, I won't. I'm a doctor.
My name is Rufus, sir. Rufus Kingsbury.
Erzähl mal was von deinem Leben. Jetzt im Moment, hast du gerade erst eingeschaltet, ne, da ist, also es ist sehr viel Gequatsche gerade. Weil wenn man halt neue Leute trifft, und wir sind jetzt quasi sowas wie in einem neuen Stadtteil, treffen wir natürlich dann erstmal auf sehr viele neue Charaktere und bringen Sachen in Erfahrung über sie, über andere. Finde ich sehr cool gemacht. Wir könnten die theoretisch aussagen, die Leute, aber wir heilen den hier erstmal.
A real doctor caring about me. That's a first. I feel like a real person.
Ja, hier jetzt nimmt her, was heißt, bist kein echter Mensch oder was?
A real doctor treats everyone the same, Rufus.
I don't know what to say. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Nee, ich meine nur, damit du jetzt nicht den Eindruck kriegst, dass eben das Game sehr viel... Ja doch, also das Game besteht schon aus sehr viel Quatschen. Also ich würde sagen, 2/3 von dem Game sind schon Reden, oder? Zumindest zum derzeitigen Zeitpunkt auf jeden Fall noch. Über diesen Teil der Stadt. Erzähl mal ein bisschen was. Aber nee, mach zuerst mal, was machst du hier? Genau, was stehst denn hier rum wie so eine Straßendürne, Alter?
What do you do around here, Rufus?
Vor allem, wie alt ist der? Was schätzt ihr?
And I smile at those kind enough to spare me a bob.
Hast du Arbeit?
Do you have a job?
It's hard to work, what with my head and all. Since I was a boy, I've always had trouble remembering what I do and why I do it.
Verstehe. Außer es Fragen haben oder so, dann immer in den Chat.
What do people say about this place?
Things have been tense between the wet boot boys and the communists. They both feel they should run the dogs.
Das Kommunisten gibt's ja auch. Ich dachte, hier sind hauptsächlich Gangs und so am Stissel. Na gut. Sehen wir was über den Teil der Stadt.
What can you tell me about this region?
It's all about staying out of trouble. But since most people prefer to avoid me, it's pretty easy.
Why do people avoid you?
They call me Rufus the Curse. Around here, I'm a bit of a bad luck.
Ach, du bist der Vater, ja, der Bengel, Alter. Dessen Eltern gestorben sind, seitdem nennen die den Rufus the Curse, Alter. Den Fluch. Holy shit.
Have you ever thought about leaving?
Where else would I go? At least I know these streets and some people around here. This is my city, for better or worse.
Wen kennst du hier? Okay, gut, der hat jetzt 2 Freunde tatsächlich. Na gut, mein Freund, der heilt sich auch. Mhm. Dann kommen wir mal zum persönlichen Fragen.
Are you alone? Where is your family?
I don't have any. My parents are dead.
So you have no home? You're sleeping rough?
No. I mean, yes. I live on the streets. I have no home.
This city has abandoned so many of its children. It's tragic.
I've known worse. I'm not all alone. I have Mrs. Fishburne. She's been very kind to me.
Why do you think she's so considerate?
I can't say, sir. I guess she's a good soul. Sometimes it's like she replaces the mother I lost, even if we're not related.
Hast du Sean Hampton gesehen?
Do you know a man who lives in this part of town? A man named Sean Hampton. I'm looking for him.
Sorry, sir. I don't know a lot of folks around here. Most prefer to avoid me.
Well, I don't think you should talk to him. He may be very sick.
Thanks for the tip. You might want to check the Turquoise Turtle. It's a pub not far from here. The barkeep knows everyone in these parts.
Ja, bei dem waren wir schon, Mann. Das kennen wir alles schon. So, tschüss jetzt.
So long, Rufus. Be careful. Take care.
Nach. Ich glaube, möglicherweise das hier könnte die Mrs. Fishburne sein.
Good evening, madam. I'm Dr. Reed. Could I come in?
Why? What do you want?
I work at the Pembroke Hospital. I'm investigating the flu epidemic in this area.
Oh, the Spanish flu. Well, that's quite liberal of you, Doctor. But this is no time to be knocking at people's doors.
Lass mich rein jetzt.
The disease takes away the good people too, madam.
Geil.
Why not let me in?
It's Mrs. Fishburne. Stella Fishburne. And yes, indeed. Why not let a doctor in?
Magst du mal bitte so ein bisschen auf lustig wieder COD? Nee, Alter, ich spiele kein COD mehr, Alter. Hau mir ab mit dem Game. Nein.
It's locked.
Oh, ist verschlossen, das ist jetzt aber frech. Schauen uns natürlich hier erstmal ein bisschen um. Schöne Bude hat sie hier auf jeden Fall. Kann man nichts sagen. Boah, Feuer ist auch gut gemacht. Oh, schaut das schön aus, ey. Aber keine Zettel oder irgendwas, das wundert mich tatsächlich. Na gut, meine Liebe. Oh ne, oder mal? Ach so, ja, das war verschlossen.
So you have questions about the flu then?
Yes, among other things.
Forgive my rudeness at the door. It's just my son doesn't like strangers coming in the house.
How is life around here?
Life has always been hard in the East End. But it's everywhere nowadays, isn't it?
Epidemie erzeugt Gewalt. Ja, wissen wir, aber wir fragen trotzdem mal.
Do you think the increase in violence has anything to do with the epidemic?
Don't know. But it's most likely linked to the gangs if you ask me. Recently, it's like everyone has had to pick a side.
Violence has always fed on poverty, don't you think? It's a cruel law of the human condition.
And selfishness is their rotten fruit. These days, you can just die in the gutter and no one will bat an eye.
Das sind wirklich düstere Zeiten, in der wir leben.
May I ask
Also,
what
ja,
you
dem
do
Game,
for a
ne?
living,
Klar.
Mrs. Fishburne?
Since my husband died, I worked at the Dawson Rope factory, but it closed before the war. I occasionally help at the night asylum in exchange for food.
Did your husband die in the war?
Oh no, my Jack was a docker. He died when my Seymour was just a lad. The poor boy saw his dad slip and fall from that scaffolding.
Scheiße. Naja, aber wahrscheinlich lieber so sterben als an der spanischen Grippe, oder? Oder ausgesaugt werden von einem schäbigen Vampir, wie wir einer sind.
How do you pay the rent then?
My Seymour works at the docks, just like his dad. He's very attached to the house he grew up in. It's not always easy, but we get by all right.
The orphan that regards you as a mother. Please tell me about him, Stella.
You mean Rufus? I wish I could do even more for the poor boy. Most people are so selfish.
But you're not.
Years may have passed, but I haven't forgotten how it feels to go through days with nothing but an empty stomach.
Ja, wenn Leute schon bereit sind, rohe Ratten zu essen. Verdammt viel Hunger haben, ey. War jetzt die Person? Nee, okay, es war ihr Leben in London. Na gut. Ich suche nach Sean Hampton.
I'm trying to locate Mr. Sean Hampton. Do you know where he could be?
You're talking about the one everyone calls the sad saint? The man who takes care of the homeless?
The very same, Miss Fishburne.
I'm sorry. I don't know where his shelter is. But if you ask around, I'm sure you'll get your answer.
Frage können wir uns
Goodbye,
eigentlich
Mrs.
fast schon sparen,
Take
Alter.
care of yourself.
Die erzählen uns alle dasselbe.
Please don't stay too long, sir.
Nee, ich gehe schon, keine Sorge. Und wer bist du?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Why must it always be a good evening?
I was just being polite. I'm Dr. Reed. I'd like to ask you some questions, if I may.
Don't like questions or doctors. And the name is Seymour Fishburne, if you must know.
Die lügt. Die hat doch eben noch gesagt, dass sie in einer Notauskunft Essen verteilt. Notunterkunft meinst du? Stimmt, du hast recht, ja. Aber vielleicht meint die eine andere. Vielleicht gibt es verschiedene Notunterkünfte. Aber du hast recht, stimmt. Können wir damit irgendwas anfangen? Ich glaube aktuell noch nicht, aber wir haben bei der noch einige Hinweise. Also ich bin mir fast sicher, dass wir in der Notunterkunft wahrscheinlich Infos finden. Und können dann nochmal zurück zu ihr gehen und sie darauf ansprechen. Aber du hast recht, eigentlich hat sie sich verraten. Ja, was über den Teil der Stadt.
What can you tell me about this part of town?
A shithole filled with maggots. Liars and thieves, all of them.
Denken Sie an jemand Bestimmtes. Das finde ich auch immer geil.
Are you thinking about someone in particular?
No? Hate them all.
No, hate them all.
Especially these petty, whining little shitbag beggars.
Oh, schön, Alter.
Is there no one who deserves your leniency then?
Well, Tom from our local is somewhat of a decent bloke. At least, unlike most maggots, he knows how to listen without opening his trap.
Oha. Was ist deine Aufgabe, Junge? Was ist dein Auftrag hier?
What's your occupation?
I take care of my mum. That's what I do. She's the only good thing in my life. Even though I don't treat her so good.
You seem upset. Is something bothering you?
I lost the necklace I bought her. I'm a fucking idiot. A worthless idiot.
Gebe ich dir recht. Oh, den könnten wir auch heilen, tatsächlich. Es ist schwer, ein guter Sohn zu sein. Ja.
Sometimes it's hard to be a good son.
I just wanted to smile. No, I was thankful for her patience, appreciated like... God knows she deserves it.
Dann lass
Do
dich
you
jetzt mal heilen,
require
Junge.
medical assistance?
That's something I didn't expect to hear again. A doctor concerned with the health of his patients. Yeah. I could use some help.
Vor allem, wie die alle glauben, wir
Several
machen
matters,
das.
in fact.
Wie die alle glauben, wir machen das, weil wir um ihre Gesundheit besorgt sind. Junge, ich will dich aussaugen und dafür möglichst viele P haben.
I don't know which kind of doctor you're used to dealing with, but it's a doctor's purpose to heal people.
And is it your purpose
Warum man
as
sie
well,
aussaugt.
Mr. Reed? I would say it's a convenient way for gaining people's trust.
Der Junge hat auch gar kein Vertrauen. Das haben wir. Was ist ihre Aufgabe? Warum ist das noch weiß? Das verstehe ich manchmal nicht. Okay, persönliche Frage. Haben wir noch nichts? Vielleicht weiß der ja ein bisschen was über Sean Hampton.
Any chance you can help me find Sean Hampton?
The sad saint. Why would you talk to that cunt?
Actually, that's confidential.
Really? Well, go
Der
ask someone
Wichser.
else then. I'm sure Tom Watts will gladly answer you.
Goodbye, Mr.
Richtiger Sonnenschein, der Mr. Fischborn, Alter.
The fog's been hiding them of late.
Richtiger Sonnenschein, ey, bin ich early. Jetzt hier rein, nö. Frag mich, wie weit hier das Aerial noch geht. Dann würden wir hier hinkommen. Aber da wollen wir aktuell nicht hin. Und ich glaube, wenn wir da irgendwann nochmal hin müssen, dann werden wir da, ne, hin müssen. Aber wo sind wir hier? Keine Leichen und keine Gegner hier auf jeden Fall. Da wären wir unten bei den Docks. Wir checken mal noch ganz hoch. Eigentlich in die andere Richtung. Oh. Da waren wir ganz am Anfang, falls ihr euch erinnert. Haben wir noch fröhlich Ratten ausgesaugt. Aber eigentlich wollen wir hier nicht lang, oder? Ja, wir gehen mal. Oh, wir sind eh schon wieder bei einer Stunde Aufnahme. Man, holy shit. Die Zeit vergeht in dem Game so krank, ne? Würde ich sagen, suchen wir uns mal noch ein chilliges Plätzchen, Alter. Um hier einen Cut zu machen. Ah, hier unten, ja, ja. Da könnten wir rein, haben wir die Leiche gefunden. Blutige Halskette. Von Seymour für meine geliebte Mutter Stella.
From Seymour to my beloved mother Stella. Fishburne, that sneaky bastard. It's locked.
Aber wieso jetzt Fishburne, der Sneaky Bastard? Entscheide, was du mit Jack Gillinghams Uhr tun wirst. Und die Totengräber Blockade vom Stapel nehmen, okay. Bombenanschlag, holy shit. Entscheiden, ob wir das entweder seiner Mom bringen. Wo ist die Halskette? Bin ich hier dabei? Von Seymour für meine geliebte Mutter Stella. Aber wieso sagte der Sneaky Little Bastard? Hat er die Kette von seiner Mom geklaut? Das finden wir auf jeden Fall raus, aber erst in der nächsten Folge, meine lieben Freunde, auf YouTube. Ich bedanke mich fürs Einschalten und, ne, bis zum nächsten Mal, Alter. Tschüss.